Hello everyone, today I want to talk about the science of satisfying work and how to become satisfied in your current job. Hello everyone, today I want to talk about satisfaction, and most importantly I want to talk about satisfaction in your current job. Now, some of us are in jobs that we love and some of us are in jobs we don't love, but ultimately we have to accept where we're at in order to move forward. So we're going to use the latest science developed by psychologists on how to create a satisfactory job environment. Because when you feel satisfied and you come from a place of abundance, you make great decisions. When you're unsatisfied and come from a place of scarcity, you make the worst possible decisions. So as always, I'm going to begin with a quote on this, and the quote is, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. That's the great thing about life. When things get difficult, the environment or the circumstances that have created it, we're also part of it. So by becoming better, we can defeat those circumstances. Wishing those circumstances would go away isn't going to work. You can wish the rain away, it's not going to happen. But becoming a person who owns an umbrella, which might make you better, is a way of dealing with that. So my personal story is I lived a lot of my life just feeling generally unsatisfied. As I moved up in the corporate world and in business, I was earning more and more and more money, but no satisfaction was coming with it, and it was very confusing. We have a thing called cognitive dissonance, which is a way the brain tells you that everything's okay even though it's not, and backwards rationalizes things. And I would just tell myself it's just because I've just got to get to this level, and when I get to this level I'll take some time off, or when I get to this income level I can start saving more, which will make me feel happier. You can only be satisfied, this is the tip, you can only be satisfied in the moment. Something to think about, right? You can't be satisfied in the past, and you can't be satisfied in the future. You can only be satisfied in the moment. So when you defer your satisfaction for an event, let's say a wedding or a house or a car or a job promotion, you've denied yourself to be happy now, which is the only moment you could have done it. See how crazy it is? We've got to stop it, and we're going to find out a little bit more science behind it. So less than half of individuals in the Western world are happy in their job. Wow. So I think it's 47% of Americans in this particular case are satisfied with their job. So that would also probably pan out to Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, a lot of Western countries. So it seems obvious as they've outlined, but the study said that people who are happy in their jobs did better. If you're a manager right now, or if you're a leader of an organisation or a CEO and can create real change, focus on your people and you'll create an amazing business. People used to say to me when I was in the service sector, they go, customers come first. I was going, no they don't. Staff come first, because staff serve customers. So if you look after your staff, they'll be happy, and the customers who interact with them will naturally come first. You can't put people over each other. You need to create happy staff. So who has the most satisfying jobs? Now, interestingly, this was a survey, so they surveyed CEOs and policemen, all sorts of stuff. Number one was clergy members, people who were following their divine spirit. Number two was firefighters. Obviously, firefighters are driven by purpose, and they're straight line linear purpose that has to do with saving people's lives, which is pretty cool. And number three, physical therapists, doctors and nurses and things like that. Notice something interesting? No multi-billion-dollar hedge fund managers made the list. No CEOs made the list. Well, it's super interesting, because what the corporate world would like you to believe as a wage slave is that as a CEO you'll be happiest. The data doesn't prove that. And we're a data-driven society. I see it all the time. People want the data. Studies show, boom, boom, is the headline. Well, studies show that these will serve you better and create a more satisfied life than it would as a CEO. If I told you could be really happy and satisfied with $1,000 a week, and you'll be able to, but you'll always be happy, but you could be unhappy, miserable, and unhealthy with $1 million a week, of course you'd choose the first option. So we're starting to see the second option that we're chasing all the time, maybe it just needs to stop being an option and we go for satisfaction. So what affects our satisfaction? Well, men say compensation and women say flexibility and advancement. Now ultimately, when I've done these studies, when I was doing my MPA, it was compensation, flexibility and growth. But 6 months later, when those individuals were surveyed, it went to flexibility, compensation and growth, and then finally 2 years later it went growth, flexibility and compensation. Happiness comes from being able to do what you want when you want. Flexibility is far more important. You should negotiate with your employer immediately a better, more flexible schedule. you'll work harder, you'll be happier, and you'll get better results for them. If you can't see your kids play soccer on Sunday, sit down with the boss and work out a system that will allow you to do that. Because if he's or she is smart, they'll understand that being flexible with you will create better results for them. They can even watch this video. Finding meaning at work is at the core of satisfaction. So I used to do this with my staff all the time. I used to ask them, why are you here? And they'd say, to make some money. Now, if that's your core philosophy, going to work every single day, you're going to be unsatisfied forever. So finding meaning in your work is incredibly important. Now, you don't have to be a scientist trying to understand the laws of nature. It can be anything. And for those individuals who are working in jobs you don't particularly like, your meaning could be, I go to work so I can create an income to provide for my family and to live out my dreams, which is to become an author, for example. Creating a new meaning in your life creates a new prism, a new pair of sunglasses to see the world, and you'll be much more satisfied. Happy workers are 31% more productive. That's it. For any of you leaders out there, 31%. If I told you you can increase your bottom line by 31%, people would be jumping up for joy. In the boardroom, if you're one of those individuals who make a difference and you're in control of staff, start talking about this with your colleagues, because you can create a real difference in their life and improve the business too. So how do you deal with work stresses at the heart? Because work is stressful, right? It just is, and we become stressed. So what the survey said was walk or ride a bike to work, try yoga or meditation at lunch, and enjoy your lunch. Have lunch with your colleagues. Now this isn't very straightforward, but we become such robots that we start sitting at our desk eating lunch. We start skipping our lunch breaks because we want to impress someone who isn't impressed or isn't even watching us, their own problems. And we really need to decide that if we want to be great at our job, we need to be happy. They cut out the BS then. Start making yourself a priority, because then you'll be the best at your job. So my 3 personal tips on this: don't assign your self-worth on external coordinates. The CEO of Goldman Sachs has no more worth than a child in Bangladesh who's just missed a meal. There is no difference. The mind-made world would say, well, the CEO, he's great, he's got all this money. No. The universe sees them as identical. Their souls are part of the one connected spirit. Stop allowing external coordinates to see your self-value. It's like putting a jumper on a peacock. I mean, you may think that you've improved the peacock, but you haven't, because nature created that peacock with its beautiful feathers, and the jump is ridiculous. It doesn't add any value to the peacock, and neither do external coordinates for you. When you're at work and it gets busy and stressful, we can't just zen out. Take a conscious breath. When something's going on and it's not the greatest thing, breathe, realize you are the universe, and that bit of space will help you think, will help you deal with situations. And number 3, have compassion for customers and co-workers. They're not angry at you. I promise you they're not angry at you. They're angry at something in their life. No one will ever do or say anything to anyone else that isn't a direct reflection of how they feel in the moment. So if someone's having a go at you, if you're dealing in customer service, they are simply manifesting the behavioural patterns of the energy of anger that they have encountered recently, or they're bringing back from the past. Have compassion. Show them love, and love will defeat it. And remember, are you that person too? Can you learn from these individuals when they're yelling about something trivial? Have you ever yelled about anything trivial? They can be a great mirror to help you become a better reflection of the cosmos. I can't wait till tomorrow, because I know I'm going to see you again. It's going to be great, but until then, goodbye.